morning, good day, good night, whatever sunglasses. Hope you're having a good one. My name is Ben Rowe. Welcome to Madagascar, explained by an idiot to an idiot. Let's hop right into it.
Welcome to Madagascar, where Marty, a zoo zebra, is daydreaming about running around free in the wild when he gets interrupted by Alex the lion, his best friend, a domesticated bitch lion and the star of the zoo, giving him a birthday gift which he...
I don't know what the hell this quality is. Ass.
He hid behind his teeth, which is bullshit. Now I understand that this is an animated fun time kids movie that I actually like, and we're playing fast and loose with the rules here, but I'm still gonna point this shit out because I can and it's my channel, eat my ass. So he gives him a snow globe of himself, and according to him,
these aren't even on the shelf yet.
So Marty sets the very unthoughtful narcissistic gift down with the rest of the shitty gifts. And how in the name of my shiny tiny little hiney does he get his hands on merch that didn't even hit the shelves yet? I am aware that he gets pampered a lot by the zoo, but does he really get pampered enough for them to give him pre-release merch of his choosing? Also, the rest of the gifts are never ever seen again in any wide shots of Marty's pen, which pisses me the fuck off. Anyways, Marty's having a mix between an existential crisis and a midlife crisis, but Alex is just like, try a new routine or some shit. Now chill, the people are here. Then brainwash Alex goes to wake up the two other members of their tiny little friend group, Glory Hole, the Hippopotamitis, and Mailman, the giraffe, who's a hypochondriac. Also, these two apes wake up, and one of them calls the other fugly, which is a mishmash between fucking and ugly, but we didn't know that when we were kids, did we now? Alex puts on a show for the peeps and hits them with the Zoolander Riz, which makes sense because he's played by Ben Stiller. Marty's new routine for the people consists of him doing acrobatic spitting, which if you think about it is disgusting. Will Smith's wife holds around, Melman gets, I don't know, checked up, whatever. Everybody's putting on a show, especially the penguins, who are hatching a plan to blow this joint by digging a tunnel all the way to Antarctica using plastic spoons. Ambitious but rubbish. Now, setting aside the fact that you cannot dig through concrete with a plastic spoon, we're just gonna pretend that they can for the movie's sake. That spoon is still very much usable, dipshit Kowalski, because the shoveling end of the spoon is still very much intact. Also, when Marty finishes up his routine by doing armpit farts, he shouldn't technically be able to do that because his hooves are not, you know, hand soft and flexible enough to make a good seal with his furry armpit to make any of that noise. Just saying, but whatever. The penguins pop up in his pen and he finds out that they missed Antarctica by just a little bit, you know, off by just a tad, and that they've been watching a hell of a lot of that top retards videos. What is his name? Andrew Tate, thinking that they live in the Matrix, saying shit like, do you see any other penguins walking around New York? It's unnatural. We're going back to the wild. They disappear in the hole, and after the day is done, all the main attractions get treated like royalty, and they celebrate Marty's birthday. He blows out his birthday candles and he tells them that he wished to go to the wild, and they're like, are you f***ing crazy, homeo? They all argue with him about it, especially dipshit Alex. He has many non-valid points that he argues with him and forces down his throat. Marty gets sad, and Gloria forces Alex to go cheer him up, which he kinda does, and they all go to bed. And a couple hours later, Melman woke up in the middle of the night to pee and couldn't find Marty, so he alerts the others. Alex figures out that he went to take a train to Connecticut.
Hold on. Yeah, bro, how the hell he press the buttons? He dead ass master bitches with his big ass fingers, bro. He didn't even point that out. So is he truly an idiot? No, I'm joking. But, like, the little ass phone, bro. Anyways.
Where he thinks the wild is, because of that conversation they had earlier on his birthday. And they can't call the humans for help because according to Alex, they do not bite the hand that feeds them. So instead they decide to break out of the f***ing zoo themselves and go look for Marty while he's just walking around vibing in New York with no one calling the authorities on him, which is not unusual for New York. I'm pretty sure weirder shit has happened. But how did he break out in the first place? Nay, how did they break out in the first place without getting noticed or stopped? Are there no security cameras or security officers or guards? Sorry, I guess the same answers before. It's New York. So Marty asks an officer horse how to get to Grand Central Station while the human officer calls in animal control. By the way, does this shot of Times Square qualify as product placement or not? It doesn't matter, irrelevant. The rest of the animals get in a subway station and wait for a subway car, and I can basically guarantee there is not a single subway station in New York City that is this empty, but who cares? They get in the car and scare out all the f***ing humans. Marty arrives at Grand Central Station, and this is also rarely this fucking empty, and goddamn, where's the fucking Apple Store on the balcony? Doesn't matter. Alex, Melman, and Gloria arrive also, and he gets kicked in the fucking nads by an old ballsy lady. They get to Marty, and Alex is like, how could you do this to us, Marty? I thought we were friends. I was gonna be back in the morning, you fanatic feline. They then get surrounded by the cops and animal control. The penguins as well as the monkeys have escaped too, although we didn't see them in the subway car, which doesn't matter to me. There's more than one subway car, more than one way to get to Grand Central Station. What I want to know more is how the monkeys escaped in the first place, probably because of the comically large bars in their fucking enclosure that they can slip through. But then again, if they could have always done that, then why didn't they escape till now? Whatever. Alex tries to communicate with the humans, but he's a dumb c*** and doesn't realize that all that comes through is lion roars, and then gets kicked in the balls again by the old lady. Somehow she slipped past a fucking wall of riot cops. He gets shot with a tranquilizer dart, has an acid trip, wakes up in a box in the zoo with everybody saying farewell to him because he's getting sent off somewhere. They shoot a bunch of darts at him again. How did none of them hit his eye? Also, first time he got shot in his ass and he fell back on his body, hence also his ass. So how did that not hurt even more? Was that not more damaging to him? I'll just think about that. You get shot with a tranquilizer dart, and what if you fall on the same spot you got shot in? Will it get shoved into your body, causing internal damage or some shit? Doesn't matter. After another quick acid trip, he wakes up in an enclosed box this time, thinking he's getting transferred to another zoo, and they all wake up in boxes around him. But actually, they're not getting transferred to another zoo. They're just getting transferred to a wildlife Wildlife Reserve in Kenya, something that the penguins find out and they're not very happy about. Like, Kenya? That's not where it's at, homies. And they break out of the box they're in by picking its lock, which they
Bro, why he kind of sound like one of the penguins? He kind of sounds like one. Or is that just me? Y'all hear it too? Let me know down in the comment section. But like, he kind of sound like one of the penguins.
absolutely did not need to do because they can totally slip through these holes that they're already halfway poked through. Speaking of holes, there's no way in hell Gloria is getting as much sunlight through her breathe holes as they are, since she's the box directly underneath all of them. Also, I doubt this is how they transport wild animals overseas in crates strapped down in the open like that, exposed to all the harsh weather conditions, but I don't know any better and I'm too lazy to research it, so I digress. The penguins sneaky breaky their way up to the bridge and knock out the captain, take control over the ship by randomly cartoon mashing buttons, pull a fat U-turn which knocks off all the quadrupeds off the ship because they were getting angry with each other and fighting, and that caused the ratchet straps that were holding them down to come loose. They fell into the ocean and drift around a bit, and I don't know about the rest of them, but I can at least see Alex's box, and it didn't get a single drop of water inside of it, which is absolute horseshit, but whatever. He washes up on a beach and gets out of the box and spends the whole night calling for his friends, and in the morning he finds Melman stuck in his box, so he rips off 3 of the 5 planks from the top of his box to try and get him out, but fails, and instead of ripping the other 2 off to try and get him out that way or pull him from the bottom, he decides that the best course of action is to rip him out of the box with a f***ing tree. But before he gets to do that, he gets interrupted by Gloria showing up at the beach, and she accidentally helps them free Melman. Then Marty shows up without his box riding dolphins, which I'm not going to question, just like I'm not going to question the odds of all of them ending up on the same goddamn beach. I'm just going to move on. Alex is furious with Marty, but Gloria calms them all down and is just happy that they're all here united in this place that Melman ascertains is
San Diego.
Shut the fuck up, Melman. Alex is still mad at Marty. They try and fight a bit, but then they hear some music and they think it's humans. So they run over into the jungle to the source of the music to look for humans to give them some help. Alex stumbling and bumping into shit all along the way, being the first one to walk through the spiderweb, although he's the last one in the group walking the same exact path as they are. Fuck logic. Actually, maybe they sidestepped this one obstacle, but whatever. They get to the source of the music and it's not humans, but a bunch of meerkats or lemurs, whatever, jamming out to some of the best music ever created. Seriously, pretty much all the Madagascar movies had straight up hits, but no one talks about it nearly as much as it deserves. Then a bunch of Husa arrive to attack the lemurs, so they're like,
Mauricio, I can't move it anymore. Mauricio.
And that's exactly when Alex finally arrives and gets scared by a spider, and his fear scares off the Fusa. And here's possibly the most confusing part in this movie for me, because at the end of the movie they eat fish, but in the sequel we see that a fish talks to them or some shit like that. And here the arachnid talks back to them, so they can clearly understand it and shit, yet they still try and f it up with a stick. So where's the line of respect between animals, or which animals can be friends, or like, you know what I mean? The line gets real fucking blurry between who's cool with who and whatnot. But who cares? King Julian, leader of the meerkats or lemurs, right? He's pretty fucking retarded, but he's the king somehow, and he sees Fusa getting scared off, so he throws out fucking Mort to see if they're dangerous or not, and they're not. So they pop out, and King Julian goes, "We thank you for scaring away the Fusa." They ask if they have any humans around, and they...
This man is good at voices, bruh. Sound just like him, Loki. He probably was a fucking voice actor for this shit. Probably was. Probably. Or it's just me. I don't know. He sounds like a lot of characters on this shit.
They tell them that the only humans that they got are dead from a plane crash that landed in one of their fucking trees, and they tell them that they're in the wild, not fucking San Diego. And they all freak out except for Marty. Gloria calming herself down by choking Alex to death while Melman buries his head in the sand. And while Melman continues to be a drama queen, Marty comes over like, "Come on, guys, it's not that bad. This could be the best thing that ever happened to us. Shut the fuck up, Marty. I'm dying. Have some respect." Then Alex literally draws a line in the sand between him and them, basically saying his side is the retarded side and their side is for people who want to find a way back home, and they're gonna find a way back home and you're not allowed to cross it. They then both proceed to showcase their incredible craftsmanship skills and architectural prowess that I will not question because it's not worth it. There's just too much to go through, and this is one thing I can just ignore. I don't have to fucking mention every single tiny thing. You just gotta focus and keep moving with the movie. Okay, we got this. All right, let's go. Marty starts working on a like luxury hut bungalow shit while Alex builds a mini Statue of Liberty that he intends to light on fire when a ship passes by as a beacon to alert to come and save them, while talking to a Wilson that I don't know how he acquired. Melman turns out to have the powers to spontaneously combust shit and accidentally burns down the mini Statue of Liberty prematurely. Pussycat cries about it a bit, then Melman and Gloria are like, "Fuck this shit, we're going to the fun side." Meanwhile, an assembly of little furry retards is taking place. King Julian is addressing his peasants, telling them that he will make friends with the New York idiots so that Mr. Alex can protect him from the Fusa. But then Maurice, who's like his advisory or assistant, is like, hold on, maybe we should be scared too. What if Alex is even worse than the Fusa? Maurice, shut up. My plan is perfect. So when the New York idiots wake up next morning, they will make sure that they wake up in paradise so they like them and they become their friends, and Alex protects them. And by the way, the skeleton hand should not be intact like it is, but whatever. Back at the beach, Alex is finally given up and goes over to the fun side, to Marty's fun shack, knocks on the door, and I know I said I wouldn't say anything, but motherfucker forged locks? What? I'm done. I'm done.
I didn't like that. Oh, I didn't like that. Bro, like the audio literally went to this side of the headphone, and I did not like that. That shit creeped me out. Sit doing that again.
Okay, I lied, I'm not done. Alex walks in, surprises Fook of how glorious this place is, although he shouldn't be because he could definitely see it from the outside because there are no fucking walls, but whatever. They have as much fun as they can, eating seaweed and gargling seawater, and they fall asleep under a sea of stars. Alex dreams of steaks and wakes up licking Marty and tries to pass it off as him counting the stripes on his body, and he figures out that he is black with white stripes, which is incorrect. Any person with 2 brain cells rubbed together will find out that he's white with black stripes. And they wake up next morning having been abducted by King Julian to a little slice of paradise. Marty and Alex go frolicking around, which awakens Alex's inner primal instincts, stops walking around on all 2s like a biped and instead on all 4s like a scary fucking lion. They return and the 4 of them are getting treated like royalty once again, with crackhead Alex bouncing around on losing my mind wildlife energy, and shows the little furry crowd of dumb his zoo routine where he does roars and the Zoolander rays and shit, and while he does that he loses all.
When did he get bright blue eyes? I don't ever remember this man having blue eyes, bro. He had like brown eyes or some shit. Never blue. When the fuck did he have blue eyes? Them shit's a bright blue, bruh. Blue in the damn ocean. When? When did he get those eyes? Or am I tripping? I don't know. Let me know.
All his marbles, goes completely insane and sees everybody as little tiny steaks and his friends as big steaks, jumps down and eats Marty's ass. Literally, I can say that, okay? Well, he tries to eat his ass, like he doesn't continue, only bites it because they're all like, what the fuck, dude? And he tries to snap out of it like, I'm not doing anything. And Maurice goes, see, he's a savage, we're all just little steaks to him. He belongs on the food side of the island. Nah, come on, nah. Do I look like steak to you, Alex? Yeah.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Alex goes savage, everybody disperses, and he singles out Marty to chase down and eat, but he gets sniped by expert coconut marksman Maurice. The coconut nut is a giant nut. I'm gonna stop doing that. Alex snaps back out of it and pretends to be me every time I edit one of these videos, like, what is wrong with me? And goes on his way to the Fusa side of the island on a very treacherous route, falling down a bunch of shitty rocks and cactuses, crucifies itself on a cactus and floats all over to that side, makes himself a makeshift enclosure to keep everybody safe from him. I don't know what the plan is here. Are you gonna just starve yourself to death, buddy? Or are you gonna do the logical thing and go prey on some fucking Fusa? Baby, let's go. Doesn't matter. While he was doing that, his friends were finding out the dog-eat-dog savage ways of the wild. Mine now feels guilty as fuck because of all this shit. He feels it's his fault. And they hear the ship honk its horn, or whatever the naval equivalent correct terminology for that shit is. See, the Penguins got all the way over to Antarctica and were like, I gotta be 100 with you homies. This ain't where it's at either. So they headed back, and out of all the islands on planet Earth that they could have passed by, this is the first one that they passed by and chose to go there, which must have been a 1 in a million chance, but whatever. The boat comes, the Penguins drop down and tell Gloria that they sent the humans off on a lifeboat, and she notices that Marty has left to go get Alex because he believes that he's still in there somehow, that he's not savage. Also, they're BFFs, so he goes back to save him, and she's worried about him, like, oh no, he's in danger. So the Penguins are on the job, like, listen up, boys, our dumb friend's in danger. We must go on a mission to help save him. Now over to Marty. He gets to the Fusa side, finds Alex, who's still kind of loopy, tells him that the boat's here and that they can go back home and everything's gonna go back to the way it was. Alex is like, stay back, I don't want to hurt you. But Marty hangs about because he won't leave without him, and he sings him their best friend song to convince him to leave with him, but he gets stopped midway because the Fusa are surrounding him and are starting to attack him. He starts running away, calling for Alex's help. Then Melman Tarzan's in out of nowhere to save him, and Gloria is there too. Penguins show up with a flare gun. Fusa hold. They distract them with it and do some Mission Impossible spinny pole dancing bait shit, except the Fusa are too much and they're starting to get overwhelmed. But then Alex shows up like, my kill. Alex hungry. My food. Goes over to his friends and pretends to try and eat them like, psst, it's showtime. Just playing along, okay? The Fusa definitely heard this, by the way, but they do look like they're too retarded to catch on with this shit, and they're high of mind super brains, so I'm just gonna let it pass. Alex pretends to want to eat them. They pretend to be in danger while beating up the Fusa and scaring them away by using them as golf balls, sitting on them with their big fat asses and using them as nunchucks. Alex tells them never to step foot on his turf again. He scares them off for good. King Julian's like, my plan worked, I did it. The Penguins make Alex some sushi to feed it to him, and he finds it better than steak. And King Julian gives him his crown as a parting gift because he has a bigger one with a gecko on it, and they wave everyone goodbye to set sail back to New York on a boat that the Penguins failed to mention to them is out of gas. This movie gets a 3 factorial out of a square root of 427.
What? Anyways, if you enjoyed this, make sure you like, comment down below what other videos you want me to react to, and subscribe if you want more reaction videos. I'll see you in the next one next week, I guess. Deuces.
Yeah, everything but love. Guess it wasn't enough. Now I'm giving up. Loving on myself, I swear I can't get enough. I can't get enough.